This is Dolany TV, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the channel. Oh my goodness. Yes, sirree. It is playoff game one, day one of the Stanley Cup playoffs for your Edmonton Oilers. And my goodness, it is going to be one heck of a hockey game to watch tonight at 8 o'clock. I am, that said, going to have a nap at some point today and get things going. So, where are we sitting? We are sitting going into game one tonight against the LA Kings. Just got some good news. Looks like Darnell Nurse should be good to go for game one. So that's kind of what I was holding off, right? I was going to mess around, do some predictions yesterday, or try and get a video up yesterday. But of course, I know me, if I open up my big fat mouth about something too early, it either goes really bad or goes completely awry some other way that I could never have predicted. So, held off. Here we are as things look like they are going to get underway for this Edmonton Oilers team on the right foot, right? I don't know if the right foot is necessarily a win, anything like that. I don't want to promise too much because every time I promise you something, it goes, like I said, a little sideways. But Darnell Nurse is in the lineup tonight from everything that has been indicated from morning skate so far. So the good news there is we should have our full lineup ready to rock for game one. Now, obviously, that said, if the Oilers have a full lineup that is capable of doing what they've done under Jay Woodcroft every game since he's come to town, we have no problem in the first round against the LA Kings. That said, right, playoffs are a whole nother animal. Just because you had regular season success doesn't mean you have postseason success, i.e., the Toronto Maple Leafs since 2004. But we currently find ourselves in a situation, right, where it is kind of make it or break it for this Edmonton Oilers team, make it or break it for a lot of guys within the organization. Obviously, everyone keeps from the outside saying there's no way Connor McDavid keeps taking first round exits. Remember, 3 years ago we were saying there's no way Connor McDavid allows this team to miss the playoffs and continue to then keep playing for them. And now suddenly we've made the playoffs 3 years in a row, and there's, well, now, it'll always be some kind of situation there where everyone will keep always raising the bar because if you don't win with Connor McDavid, you're not doing right by him per se. But this is where this team really gets to come together and do what they have been supposed to do for a while now, I guess is what I'm trying to say, is they simply, right, it's either put up or shut up at this point. And Connor McDavid, Leon Draisaitl, Nugent Hopkins, Darnell Nurse. You can talk about the leadership group, but even Duncan Keith, Cody Ceci, guys on the back end like those guys, or even Mike Smith, Mikko Koskinen in net. Up on the forward lines as well, you've got Devon Shore in there, Kyler Yamamoto, Jesse Puljujärvi. This Oilers team is built on and built of a lot of guys who have gotten a lot of belief put in them over the past several years, right? Since I started covering the Oilers on YouTube in 2018, the biggest names on this team really haven't changed too much, right? You've got your McDavids, you've got your Draisaitl's, Nuges, you've got your Yamos, you've got your Puljujärvis, you've got your Nurse, you've got Bouchard, right? You've got Chris Russell. Obviously, the addition of Tyson Barrie not too long ago, but there's a lot to this Oilers team. Mike Smith, Mikko Koskinen, especially in particular, but you've got a lot of these guys who have been given chance after chance after chance to succeed, and then all of a sudden Jay Woodcroft comes in, and it's like a shine down from the sky where this team suddenly figures out that yes, we're capable of being the elite of the elite, but now you got to go and put it together in the playoffs. And almost poetically, the Kings are the perfect team to put it to the test first round. Why were the Kings kind of the perfect team? Well, you know, more than likely if you win, you've got the Calgary Flames waiting for you at the end of the line when it comes to the second round, right? You're waiting for the LA Kings to be gone, you're waiting for the Dallas Stars to be gone, and then you go clash up against the Calgary Flames. But the LA Kings are this perfect, right? They are maybe the last leg of their journey in the playoffs, the journey of rebuilding, right? This team's got Quick, this team's got Brown, Kopitar, but that's the old boys club of the LA Kings at this point, right? That's the old team that got there, did that, done that under Daryl Sutter all those years ago. And, well, now, right, the young guys are coming up, but when you take away a Jonathan Quick at an elite level, when you take away Dustin Brown after this year, when you take away kind of the foundations of this team, well, you know what? It is a situation where this is kind of a last dance for them, right? This is for the big three that have been the LA Kings for as long as they've been around. It is probably the end of the line for this trio of absolute superstars for a time in the 2010 era of the NHL. So they get one last crack at it, and they're going to push as dang hard as they possibly can to get the job done in this first round and go for as long of a journey into the playoffs as they can. And then you put them up against this, comparatively for us as Oilers fans, compared to everything we've had since the 90s, this is a juggernaut squad. Like, this Oilers squad we have is a juggernaut by our standards. Not by anyone else's, trust me, I'm not saying. But by our standards as Oilers fans, this is a juggernaut squad that has to go up against the old guard of playoff lore, essentially, is what I'm trying to break down. My goodness, like, there's so many thoughts going through my brain. I'm not used to doing this anymore, guys. There's a lot to hash out. Normally I'm able to hash it out with a talk with myself prior to coming on camera, but hey, you know what? It is what it is. So, right, it's that. It's simply that. You've got a juggernaut Oilers squad that I don't think every Oilers fan can rightfully look at and say, we have not had this good of a team in a long dang time. And then you've got the old guard LA Kings, which can push and can triumph if they want to in this playoff round. And it is going to be a good clash between two great teams, but two teams headed hopefully in opposite directions, and hopefully the result in the series will show that, right? The Kings show themselves out after the first round. The Oilers move on to face the Calgary Flames and the real test in the second round. That said, there's a lot to go yet, and that all begins tonight in Game 1 against the Kings at 8 p.m. down there at Rogers Place. Ladies and gentlemen, look forward to seeing all the photos, everything that you guys will be posting, everything you'll be telling me here in the comments section as we get set to get this playoffs underway for 2022. Because after being there last week, it is going to be a phenomenal time in downtown Edmonton to watch everyone go in and have just a blast. The playoff buzz in Edmonton is unlike anything else I've ever felt. And being there last week, like I said, was absolutely unreal to start feeling that kind of creeping out back into the streets of Edmonton. And I can't wait to see what essentially the Oilers bring to the table to keep that buzz alive for as long as possible here in the spring of 2022. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm Tyson. This is Stolany TV. Thank you so much for tuning in. I will catch you in the next one.